This virtual firefighting training simulator is specifically developed for CAAS. It is intended to provide close to actual stimulation for new trainees to experience fighting an aircraft fire in different scenarios. In this simulator, the PPEs and the fighting equipment that the trainees use are actual equipment which give the real tactile feel, such that they can fully immerse and experience the actual situation and react to put out the fire appropriately, based on the techniques taught during theory sessions. The translation of theoretical techniques to actual actions for honing individual skills is the key purpose and learning objective of this simulator. This simulator provides very realistic immersive 3D visuals through the VR headsets with realistic 3D audio. The PPE don-on is made to let the trainee have a complete and accurate experience of a real scenario, including the simulation of intense heat via heating pads if they get too close to the fire. This is because their very movement when advancing towards the fire is being tracked. The fire nozzle is the main interface of this virtual world. Sensors are embedded into the nozzle so that the trainee may practice accurate techniques of handling the nozzle, such as varying the spray pattern and the water jet velocity by manipulating the nozzle head and throttle, allowing training without cognitive burden. As the trainee pulls and drags the hose along, they will be able to experience a resistance load. When the nozzle is operated, the fireman will get to feel a sustaining haptic vibration, as if there was a real water jet shooting through the nozzle, and experience the realistic recoil actions in his grip. The training is created for different realistic fire scenarios on either a commercial aircraft or a military fighter jet. At the start of each scenario session, the trainee will be briefed on the situation he will be engaging to let him mentally prepare for the scene. The trainee's starting position in each scene is a short distance from where they should ideally be fighting the fire from. Hence, they will be expected to move forward while pulling the hose along as they start to engage the fire. The trainees will have the opportunity to practice their footwork and nozzle drills as they move forward. This will be observed by the instructor who would be around to provide verbal assistance or instruction, especially if the trainee is a newbie. The final technique in directing the water or foam to extinguish the fire will then be entirely up to the trainee. One could manipulate the nozzle, aim and adjust the throttle to apply the spray directly, or utilize the lobbing technique to what they feel is most effective in each scenario. The fire simulation works on a pre-programmed algorithm of fire burn. The fire will dose off gradually if it is being extinguished continually. The realism of play is created based on the amount of extinguishing agent falling onto where the core of the fire is, which also grows if the extinguishing process does not keep up. The training ends if the trainee fails to put the fire out within 2 minutes. Their performance is generally graded based on timing, which varies with each scenario. The difficulty settings could be adjusted by the instructor as needed. This difficulty rises by allowing the fire to burn to a bigger size before the trainee starts. The instructor has an operating station with an ultra-wide LCD, which gives him options of the player's view, a third-person perspective, or a selection of a bird's-eye view of the scene. The third-person perspective is effectively motion-steadied to include the player within the scene. The user interface is simple and straightforward, allowing the instructor to control and facilitate the simulation with ease. He can also mirror the view on his screen to a projection for a small group of observers for an effective, small group mutual learning dynamic. With the help of the firefighting training simulator, training will become more efficient and effective. The instructor will be able to access the results of the trainees to analyze issues and pinpoint areas of improvement.